Hey, Assalamu alaikum. Let's understand about the important micronutrient mineral. The micronutrients basically means the trace element which that present in our body very minor percentage. So in this way we will understand about the copper. So what is the benefit of the copper? Why deficiency? How to replenish? How to recover the basically the copper? So how to consume? So what is the function of the copper? We will understand all these things. So here is a note. So we will read out to understand the copper, and we will understand the copper deficiency and the benefit of the copper. So let's understand about that. Copper for our health. So the copper absorption increased by vitamin C. So remember, the vitamin C is too much important for the absorption of the copper and basically stop the deficiency of the copper due to the vitamin C. If you are consuming the vitamin C, so the copper deficiency chances will be less. Important thing is that you should need to understand. So amino acid and the vitamin C is important for increase the absorption of the copper. Absorption inhibited by zinc and phytates. So basically absorption inhibit by zinc. So zinc can inhibit the absorption of the copper. So whenever the deficiency of the copper, you should stop the zinc consumption while you should consume more copper containing diet or supplementation and phytates. So transport, how to transport? So basically copper absorption into bloodstream, bound to albumin and transported to liver for distribution, and the ceruloplasmin, which that is a protein, transport the copper to tissue. So basically first of all it will absorb and that absorb into the bloodstream and bound to the albumin. So it will bound with the albumin and then go into the liver. So remember here is written that notes transported to liver for distribution. So it will distribute and basically transport first into the liver and further distribution. When distribution, it will transport copper to tissue. When transport into the tissue, so in this way the ceruloplasmin is the protein is known as ceruloplasmin, which that transport copper to the tissue. So this is the important things. First again you can understand and stop the video to understand the basically the transport system. So utilization, how to consume that basically copper. So energy production, because the copper aid in electron transport chain in the mitochondria, because the coenzyme work as a cofactor with the enzyme to become a hollow enzyme. And in this the metabolism will increase the production of more ATP because the mitochondria contain complexes, complex 1, 2, 3, 4, which are all contain basically some contain copper, and that copper is very important for the normal function of that electron transport chain, because this is the enzyme which that embedded in the inner mitochondrial membrane. So connective tissue health. So the copper help form collagen and elastin. So collagen and elastin is important for your skin health. In this way, whenever you will consume the copper, so in this way collagen and elastin will increase, because that collagen and elastin work with the and produce with the copper. So the copper help form the collagen and elastin. In this way, when copper will increase, so the skin health will increase. So that is why it is also anti-aging and it will reverse the aging and you will look like more and more fresh and younger. So that is why. Immune system. So in this way the copper supports the immune cell function. So anyhow, for simple to understand is production of more ATP for the proper function of the immune cell due to the mitochondrial biogenesis and the mitochondrial function. For example, the number of mitochondria increase in the cell, but the mitochondria also require the copper for the normal function of the electron transport chain, but it will not work if the copper deficiency. So antioxidant properties, the copper protects against oxidative stress. So the copper will protect against the oxidative stress. Anyhow, this reactive oxygen species will decrease because it is antioxidant. So it will work with the several enzyme to detoxification as well as the reactive oxygen species consumption to become a non-reactive oxygen species, lead to oxidative stress decline, while basically the normal function of your body will increase. Brain function, the copper involved in neurotransmitter synthesis. So the neurotransmitter synthesis is important for the normal cognitive function, the normal function of the muscle, the movement, and the motor neuron function, your nervous system, your memory, your basically the brain cognitive power increase, your all things basically will increase due to the brain function and due to the copper. So copper is very important for neurotransmitter synthesis. So whenever the neurotransmitter will synthesis more, so basically the neurotransmitter will work for increase the impulse. Copper dependent enzyme. The copper dependent enzyme is the cytochrome C oxidase. The superoxide dismutase is important for the reactive oxygen species suppression. Cytochrome C oxidase is very important for the mitochondria and the apoptosis. The ceruloplasmin, which that is important, that copper will work with bind with the magnesium because the ceruloplasmin also work for it. But anyhow, the ceruloplasmin work with the copper for transportation of the copper and other basically things. And the copper dependent enzyme, this is dopamine beta hydroxylase is also and tyrosinase. So the dopamine beta hydroxylase, which that is important in this way, the copper is important for the production of more dopamine, and the dopamine is very important for the normal function, the cognitive function of your brain, and prevention of the Alzheimer disease, Huntington disease, and neurodegeneration, Alzheimer disease, and the basically Parkinson disease. So on the other hand, the bipolar disorder. So the copper is very important, but you should need to understand for the normal recommended daily dose is 900 microgram per day for male, and for female the 900 microgram per day. So 900 is for both. So for both is 900. So as the dysregulation will lead to cause here is the Wilson disease, excessive copper accumulation. We will understand with the handwritten tutorial about the Wilson disease, while the Menkes disease, which that impair the copper absorption. So the copper absorption will lead to cause dysregulation of the copper due to the Menkes disease. We will discuss this Menkes disease in the handwritten tutorial, but later on, because I have not excessive things for making the handwritten tutorial, but later on we will understand and make that. Impaired basically the copper deficiency will lead to basically normally copper deficiency whenever. Wilson disease basically excessive copper accumulation, while the Menkes disease will lead to impair the copper absorption, so will lead to deficiency, while the copper deficiency simply, for example, no Wilson disease, no Menkes disease. So in this the impaired immune system function and anemia can be occur. Remember, basically the copper is very important for the blood circulatory system, the blood, hemoglobin, etc. But the first important thing is that the impaired immune system function, because no production of ATP, a lot more things. So the food is too much important. The rich copper containing food is the shellfish, organ meat, liver, crab, lobster, and fish, salmon, sardines, avocados, which that avocado is too much important because also contain potassium and a lot more health beneficial for all things. So all things basically avocado should be a non-processed, but avocado should be a fresh and basically organic should be. So sunflower seeds, so the sunflower seed is basically also important for that things. I hope you make sense about that. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like, and share. So basically we have discussed about the copper for our health, so a lot more health benefit. So next video, if you have any question about the copper, you can comment below. If you have no any question, so please give the suggestion for new videos, and we will make another video for yourself, for your understanding and to grow your health. See you in the next video. For this time, bye. Allah Hafiz.